"Between you and me and the gaslights, Mrs. Warne," he said, dabbing at a faint layer of nervous sweat that had formed above his lip. "The older mites at the orphanage do not have the same appeal as the babies. I don't share this dreadful perspective, mind you, but as a girl of 10 summers, dear Cornelia here doesn't stand a chance of ever getting adopted."
11, I announced, though nobody had seen fit to ask me. Or thereabouts. And then, acting like I'd just spontaneously caught fire, the Right Reverend snatched his hand off my shoulder, pressed some papers in my aunt's direction, and took off down the boarding house stairs. She called for him to stop, but he did not. I stared down the hallway after him, wondering if I should feel a pang of worry. But I couldn't muster even a faint hiccup of remorse to see the backside of that man. My aunt's entire head was outside the door now, but her body still blocked me from coming into her room. Her face was average-looking, though it could have been pretty if it weren't lined with so much crankiness. I had always envied cornflower blue eyes like hers, and the lashes framing them were long and brown like feathers on a whippoorwill. So pinched and prim like she was, I could tell she was on a fast road to becoming a dowdy old matron. I hadn't seen enough of her teeth to be sure, but I figured her age to be already about 25. I picked up the yellowish papers off the floor and held them out for her to take. She just stared at me and made no motion to invite me inside. "How did you find me?" she asked. Her expression was sour, with a hint of bitterness, and I was immediately reminded of a pickled onion. Her mouth was pinched so tight again, I half expected her jaw to squeak when she moved it. "Right Reverend found you, ma'am. Not me." "I haven't spoken to anyone in your family since—" "The accident," I said, filling in the gap. "And Warrens are your family too, by the way." She scoffed and gave me a hard look. I could tell she was sizing me up, so I gave her a hard look right back. "Accident?" She laughed, though the sound that came out of her was anything but joyful. "Is that what they're calling it?" "There's no they calling it anything," I corrected, a little peevishness coloring the edges of my voice now, too. "There's just me. Ain't no Warrens left in Chemung County except me. I'm the very last one." "Your mother?" Whooping cough. "Uncle Silas?" "Drowned." "And Martha?" "Scalded." "Your brothers?" "One of scarlet fever." "The other?" "Fell off the roof last December. Died the next week." She made a little noise, as if that satisfied her. But her eyes didn't go soft or anything like she understood the heavy sack of sorrows I was carrying around. She just kept staring at me until I finally had to look away. My eyes were beginning to sting. I blinked real fast, but not so I'd look irresistible this time. It was because I missed everybody so much. If any one of them was still back at the farm, filling his or her lungs with deep breaths of fresh air, then I wouldn't have to be standing here right now. But with each passing, my world got smaller and smaller, until they were all gone, and here I was in Chicago, alone. My eyes were wet as I picked at my fingernails. "And your father was the very last to go," my aunt said, with a little sound. "Cornelius always did look after Cornelius. Tell me, how did he meet his maker? Hanged from a lawman's noose, I assume?" "Shot. But he wasn't doing no wrong. He was helping people," I said, then added softly, "Some bad men shot him dead. It was a crime." She went silent, and I was thankful she didn't make hay about my daddy getting himself killed. I didn't know all the particulars of how it happened, but my heart told me he was pure and true. "It was not your daddy's fault, you say?" Her voice came so low, I had to lean forward against the dark door frame a bit so I'd catch it. "Just like the day he killed my Matthew, his own brother, in what you call an accident." "Exactly," I said, trying to match my voice to hers, low and serious. She was a pickled onion, and I wasn't about to let her intimidate me. If you'd let me explain it, you'd